right, good morning, y'all. So just wanted to do a quick overview and kind of walk around of this 250-gallon smoker I just built. This is the one that I was going to be doing a raffle on, and I got maybe I think I had like 7 or 8 entries into it, and it wasn't like picking up any sort of steam on social media or whatever. So this guy ended up calling me wanting a smoker. He initially wanted a 150, and I told him, you know, I could build in that. I said, but I got to finish this one up first. I said, what are your needs? Like, what do you think you'd be doing? And most of the time he was like, mostly cooking for my family, but every once in a while I do bigger cooks. And I said, well, I had a minimum set for this as far as like entries went. So I said, if you want to go ahead and buy this one for the price that I said, I had it set up for the raffle, I'll go ahead and sell you this one instead. Plus it'll be done a lot quicker. And he was like, well, what's that price? So on this one here, this smoker here with the end cap cut off and the round insulated firebox, I did it for $4K. My minimum goal was to have 80 entries at $50 a pop, so $4K seemed like a pretty good deal. When the money's in your hands, you just take it. So instead of doing the raffle, I went ahead and did that. So I'm gonna do a quick walk around overview, show you some things I did differently on this one, some things that I'll probably do again, and then some things that for the first time I've done, like I've never done a round insulated firebox. I actually really like the way it turned out. Seems like it's pretty heavy duty anyway. This is in the garage obviously right now because getting it out of my garage on my little bit of a slope driveway, it's not happening by myself. This thing will probably just take over and roll down the hill, and God knows what's going to happen to it. So anyway, I'll do a quick walk around, show y'all what I did, and then y'all can let me know what you think. All right, since we're on this end here, I'm gonna go ahead and start with the smoke collector and the stack that I did. This is a 6.5 inch stack inside diameter. It's a 6 foot tall piece. So what I ended up doing is cutting this off. I think this one's about like maybe 19 inches, 18, 19 inches. I had to make it tall enough where it would get over the door stops. The feet that I took off of the outside part of the actual firebox, sorry, that he wanted me to go ahead and use those feet as the door stops. He wanted it kind of old school looking. He likes it kind of grimy. He likes it kind of patinaed. So I went ahead and did that for him. So do some quick up close show you what I did on the smoke collector, what I did differently from the other ones I built. The patina on this thing turned out freaking awesome too, by the way. But one thing I did differently on this one and the last two that I've done is I've been putting the pipe actually on top of the collector instead of building it where the pipe is the end cap. I think that looks a lot cleaner that way. I really like the one piece design too instead of the one I've done where it's like angled, like even my own personal one. I like this one a lot better. It sure looks a lot cleaner. Came out really great. As y'all can see, definitely getting in my groove here. Everything looking pretty clean. One thing I have not done yet is I'll drill a hole through here and I'll put a bolt in there so he can not have to worry about his stack falling down. But the high temp clear on this specific tank, as far as the patina goes, really turned out freaking awesome. Something else I did differently on this one is I've had some casters. Actually, hold on. I've had some casters on some like 120 and on a 120 and a 150 that I built that broke on me. Just because they say they're rated at a certain weight, like 1,200 pounds or 800 pounds per caster or whatever, does not mean you should be using these on these heavy duty smokers. And that was only a 120 and a 150. This is a 250, obviously it's way heavier. So I ended up getting these 6-inch casters. I checked with my buddy who now lives in Idaho, but he goes by LV Smokers. He used to be in Las Vegas. And I sent him a picture of those ones on Amazon. They're like 140 bucks for a set. And I said, are these the ones you use on your heavy duty smokers? And he's like, yeah. So definitely get those. So anyway, I'll show you what I did there. So just in case there is ever a problem, I go ahead and do this little template based on the top of this part, and then I bolt them in. I've seen people weld them on, and I'm sure you can do that just fine, but if the caster ever breaks, then you gotta cut the whole thing off. In this case, if something ever happens to the caster, you just take these bolts off and then you just jack it up, take them off, and you can put a new one on really, really simply. I know a lot of people probably do it that way too, but that's how I really prefer doing that way. It just seems like it's a lot easier maintenance wise if something does happen, because I have had them break in the past. So anyway, gonna move on down the line here. As you can see, I still use the Midwest Hearth thermometers, made in the USA, probably the same place Teltru's made. I'm not really sure 100%, but they work awesome. I put them on every smoker I've ever built. Actually contacted Teltru about getting some personal ones made, and they had a 500 minimum. So I was like, well, I'm not gonna spend $2,500 on them. So anyway, I'll go ahead and show you the inside real quick. Okay, so inside overview, that bottom cooking grate, the grate itself is 69 inches long, 69 and a half inches long. I built it so you can push it all the way towards the collector if you want, and then give yourself a little bit of a space here if you wanted to. If you wanted, I would put a piece of plate there so we could set a water pan on it or whatever you wanted, but this seems to be the way it's gonna be. So turned out really well. I prefer not having slide outs on bottom because if you do have things overlapping, it sucks. Even if you have a little piece in between your pullouts, if it's overlapping, then you gotta adjust it when you slide the thing out. And in these 30-inch smokers, he's got almost 9.5, 10 inches of room there. And I don't know if you can see, but you can reach back there and grab everything you need. I do it on my 288 all the time. And these slide outs on top, I believe these are 23 inches each. No, I'm sorry, they're 31 inches long and then 23 inches deep. So, there we go. I gotta do a little grinding on that little piece right there. But tons of room up there. You could definitely fit 3 slabs of ribs going across and possibly 1 here going this different direction. So, a lot of cooking space, way more than a 150. That is 100% for sure. The first smoker I ever built, I did a round firebox on a flat end cap like that. Really think that turned out great. I don't get into cutting out the bung holes too much. I kind of like the way they look, just capping them and then welding little caps on top of them. I have templates that I use for that. When I get my plasma table fired up over there, which was supposed to be this week, I'll be able to do all this stuff even easier. So here's a quick overview of the firebox. Pretty heavy duty, so you can see that weld line all the way around. That's where that 24-inch piece is inside. So he has 24-inch inside 30. And I've been doing this on the inside of the door too, and I haven't had one warp since. So they do warp over time, I believe, if you don't do that. So I think this really helps a lot. But the insulation's all the way wrapped around, so I'm kind of anxious to see how well it works. I stuffed as much in there as I possibly could, just trying to make it where it could, it'd be exactly what he wanted. It's crazy when you put clear on, even like the little spray paint they had from marking them, everything becomes so much more vibrant. I always use the high gloss clear, high temp. You got to get it at an automotive store if you want to have the good stuff. So anyway, it turned out pretty cool. So it's Friday, the 31st, I guess. So this thing will be out the door on Sunday. Got a friend of mine's coming to pick it up. We're not quite sure. We're probably going to end up using a loader and then setting on top, and he'll back into the guy's backyard and put it on his patio for him. But luckily it's going on a flat patio and not up on a deck, because I don't know if I want to put this one on a deck or not. It's pretty freaking heavy, unless it's a newer deck that's been built really sturdy. So anyway, try to keep these overviews short and to the point of what I like to do. I'm probably going to end up throwing some, I have some leftover expanded sheet. I'm probably going to throw some on the bottom there so we can put some wood storage or whatever he wants on the bottom. But this is what you get. You get it for $4,000. If you wanted a round firebox set up like this, I could do that. But if you wanted the square firebox and you wanted it a little bit beefier, it's gonna cost you about $4,500, $4,600 depending on steel prices and how they kind of fluctuate here and there. So anyway, that's what I do. If you want something like this, from 120, 150, I actually have a 200-gallon tank at my mom's that I have not built yet, that I've been wanting to build I might end up doing that one next, but I got a buddy who wants a 120, so who knows what I'll end up doing. But 120, 150, 200, 250, 288, which is my personal favorite, and then also 330, and I can do any of those on casters, on skids. I've not done an off-road setup yet. I would think that'd be pretty fun to do. I would love to do one for somebody. I can also do them on trailers. You can see on my page, I've built 2 330s on trailers, and they come out freaking awesome. So if you're interested in something like this, hit me up on Instagram, send me a message any way you can, kansascitysmoke.com, and I'll take care of you. Like, subscribe, share with your friends. Appreciate you.